I bust through when bust moves. Stay true, they kill it, stay smooth. Handsome brothers stay set in the mood, but they wanted funky rounds from the brother so cool. Trying to check the vibes and set the conversation. The keenest minds to find this observation. I'm on 10 podcast, so don't not face it. We'll be the first to declare our greatness. Checking, now check out, I'm checking it twice on the weekly. I'm busting, cause busting is life. If you don't know, now you do though. You should peep game, that'd be cool though. Cause your part is crucial, so get on the movement. If you ain't busting, don't know what you doing. Wasting your time and ignoring the truest. Some of the realest, they greatly influence. Kings in Montana creating a movement. Scrapping or rapping or laughing or acting. It really don't matter, cause this is our passion. We busting and trusting. It really is something. When it comes to our family, you know that we love them. That's how we roll. Montana in the house and we taking control. Podcast kings in the place to be. We taking over, just wait and see. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz, we'll be on tonight. No bull, stand true and tried. It's Buzzwood, it's ride or die. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz, we'll be on tonight. No bull, stand true and tried. It's Buzzwood, it's ride or die.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Bus. We are being joined again by a very special man, and man who made a mission of his own to defend the state of Montana against data centers, Mr. hopefully future Congressman Brian Miller, man.
Miller's back. I'm the nominee right now, so that much we got down.
We did get past the hurdle,
we got
man.
the Democratic nominee
Since
down.
the last time you were in, you made a big hurdle. So, like, I think getting into the scene and you made a big splash. You're not entering the pond as a minnow, it feels like.
I mean, I take on just about any. I mean, my view is if you see something wrong, you should say something.
Sure. Yep.
And so I commentate on some things that are even not necessarily in my race, but that I see happening in the Democratic Party, see sexism, misogyny, all those things coming. I'm going to comment on it. You know, I'm going to comment on people that are lying, that are full of shit, that are doing things they shouldn't do, even though it's not necessarily in my race.
You made yourself a man of controversy as far as even taking the turn and calling out your own party.
I've called them out. Yeah, I've been attacked by them on their Twitter feed.
So you've gone at the neck of the biggest Democrat, I think, in the last, at least 15 years would be Tester.
Tester. I've been going after Tester, and we keep going after Tester. In fact, I just posted a reel about him today.
Can we get into, just a little bit of what you're campaigning currently on and right now, just so we can go on to it? And I would like to, just early on get into, your tiff within your party so we can move on right away past that and into other things.
Whatever you want to talk about,
So let's get into some of your baseline campaign promises and what your campaign
I don't do promises per se.
Campaign.
I do have some promises,
missions,
which is that I'll be accessible. I'll listen. I'll be open to evidence. That I can promise.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
That I can promise.
That's good to hear.
Because I can control that, right? Like if someone makes a campaign promise, say, "Well, I'm going to do this," it's like, well, you got to go into Congress, and there's 100 of people, and you can't. There's factors outside of your control. But what can you control? What is within your control? Should I worry about that being one, or is that okay?
No, let's switch it out real quick. 1 second, boys. I'm going to just pause him just a second. You're right. Good call.
Yeah, I know. So it's running low on batteries.
2 seconds. So when he's getting into it, the question was, is kind of what's he's basing his campaign off of these days. He says he's not going off of promises. He's doing what he can do as a man and what he presents. And
data centers. That's one that we can work on. That's one I've been working on.
And, you've been attacking data centers daily. Not just it hasn't been a focal point at a single meeting at a town hall, or it's been every day.
Constant.
Hey, for whoever's in the comments, can you guys hear us pretty good? By the way, can you hear me, Levi, Ty, and Brian?
Ryan, thanks for tapping in. Thanks for jumping in the comments. If you have any questions
put them up there. We'll
get us some shares, get us moving. We'll get this algorithm.
Brian, we
people
know
are jumping in.
We know you live in Wyoming. I don't mean you don't got questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can ask. We don't care if you live in Montana. Ask.
So
whatever.
For everyone that's joining us, this is Brian Miller. He's running for Congress. And here in Montana, his main power mission that he's been building his campaign on the back of is destroying data centers.
Or stopping them from coming into our state.
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it. I mean, we don't want them in here.
We don't want them in here. We want to
There's
keep our land and our water rights
That's
as
right.
protected as possible. You've been a strong advocate of that, and you've been boots on the ground. Do you want to kind of get into some of the data center mission that you've already experienced?
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool story. By the way, I wasn't always on the data center thing because, like you said, last time we talked, it wasn't even on my radar screen.
That's true.
And there was a woman, her name was Paige, that was a volunteer, and she kept telling me to pay attention to it. I actually blew her off, and I wasn't listening, and people kept bringing it up. And then one day I sat down and studied it and really started studying it, and then I came to my own conclusion. I was like, yeah, the people are right. And from that point, it's just snowballed. The more I research, you know how this is, because the more I research, the more confirmation, yeah, this is wrong. And then there's new angles, and I'm sure we'll get into them. There's so many angles to the data center thing. It's affecting everything right now. It is literally, it's hitting everything.
Well, what people don't realize and what they're accessing with the data centers, this is a turn of technology.
Yeah.
What data center represents is a storage of memory for what we call AI, and AI is the big hot topic for all technology companies.
Yeah.
This is what everybody's pouring money into.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody's quite realizing the effects and how much it spiders out into what it affects. It affects your phones, it affects your medical, it affects your car. Yeah. This is going everywhere.
It's huge. It's a huge thing. And we're not, it's being...
Oh, Cutman, what's up, brother? G's in the house.
What's good?
Being, sex crimes are just as bad as data centers.
Yeah, Kyle said, I've been tagging Brian Miller. I want firing squad for sex crimes.
Well, we got to have due process, though, dude. I mean, I'm an attorney, so...
Yeah, due process.
You got to have due process. You got to be careful. And I'm not in favor of the death penalty, and I'll tell you why I'm not in favor of the death penalty. Because the principle of if you're going to have a death penalty, you're going to execute an innocent person.
Yeah,
I'm not okay with that. Yeah. No, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we just got to err on the side of liberty.
That's
put them away, though. We need to do more for sex trafficking. We're not doing enough to stop it. I would agree with that.
I stand on the grounds that I'm actually not a fan of the death penalty myself.
Well, I just think because there's every time they've had it, and I know, and I'm not saying take it easy on sex crimes because we need to do more prosecution. Yes, put them away for life. I mean, we need to be tough on it. But, God, could you imagine what if it was you that was the innocent person that got picked up? And especially sometimes in the sex crimes cases, because it'll be a he said, she said, and whatever, right?
We actually
know
a guy named Jim Bromgardner years ago was let off on the Innocence Project. He was in prison for 16 years.
There you go.
And he was let out on some full shit because 16 years later the DNA came back.
Exactly. So we err on the side of liberty.
Yep.
Which means
shout out Jimmy, man.
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. I've got a question. We take this one about the economy. Yeah, sex offenders and pedophiles. Let's start with the Epstein files.
Yes, okay.
0 prosecutions on the freaking Epstein files. 0. And also, let's not forget, Biden didn't do shit about it either. No one did shit. So we can't just put it all on Trump. But he did campaign on it. And he's not following through with what he said.
This was the biggest bubbling point for me.
This is when you and I got connected because of the Epstein.
This was.
Yeah.
And honestly, this was a big bubbling point for us in that interview, actually, because my focal point was Israel.
Right.
And before the Epstein files were officially released at this point, or I think they were just getting released at this point.
You did like a big, I remember I reached out to you because you did this big thing and you did the Montana connection. I was like, who the hell is this guy, dude?
I did a 5-part
that was
series
crazy.
on it because when they dropped, what people were not understanding is that this network, like the data center network, is so engraved into everything.
And it's still operating.
Yes.
That's why we've got to get prosecutions.
A lot of the same operatives that are operating within the Epstein, the Epstein circle, were a lot of these CEOs and a lot of these executives that are dealing in the data center shit today.
Yes.
So it's been a spreadful virus that we're dealing with.
It's a freaking virus, man. It's crazy, perverted people that just exist in another world. They're not like, I say this all the time because I do like these presentations on data centers, and I do this media thing. We talk more about that. And what I say to people, and I'm constantly listening and refining my arguments, because I'm a trial attorney and I'm always listening, and that's what you do.
You're actually representing the gal from the data center. I don't know if people...
We can talk about that,
too. They might have missed that. That is a huge thing I want to touch on, by the way.
Yeah, we can talk about that as much as you guys want. I can tell you all about that. I just talked to her today. On the way over here, I talked to her, actually. So I tell people, listen, these people are, to paraphrase Kendrick Lamar, they're not like us. Yeah. They're not like us. I mean, they are not our people, and they don't care about us. They don't care what happens to us. We are on our own, so we have to defend ourselves and don't listen to the propaganda. And that's what I do is I try to show people, because the propaganda narrative is we got to do it or China's going to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, we have 10 times more data centers than China.
Oh yeah, man.
That's not the plot line.
So
that's not the plot line.
Well, like the data center and like the Epstein things, I think people are standing back like, what can we do now? And I'm over here, you know, I put out that 5-part series on the Epstein files, right?
Good.
And I did it in efforts to not only bring light, but I did it in a way that I would let prosecutors actually, if they ever looked at the files, if they actually looked at the fucking report, I traced it back all the way back to their crime.
Yeah.
You know, and I sat back and I said, dude, I put the people, place, finger, I gave it all to them, you know, and I watched nothing get done about it.
Nothing.
And I'm like, so it made me almost feel hopeless. And then I seen you come out of nowhere, pick up the data center thing. I'm like, oh my God, there is hope, because the same exact circle is, they go hand in hand together.
Oh yeah. Same people.
It is the same people, same ownership programs.
Same type of people. I mean, I'm not saying Sam Altman's in the Epstein files. I'm not saying that Elon Musk is in the Epstein files like that. But I mean, we do know Musk had some, we don't know. But it's the same, it's the type of people that are in that level of society that is not our level.
It breeds
of society.
supremacy. And
it is a supremacy mentality.
Yes.
It's not, and they don't respect us. They think we're stupid. They think we don't know anything. They think we're just like,
well, there's some of the benefit of AI instead of the disadvantage of the data center itself.
Yeah.
The data center, the danger of the data center is the surveillance, is the consumption of, you know, because what people don't quite understand, and maybe they're starting to understand now, I was talking about this a year ago, is the simplicity of how much it takes to run these things. We're talking cooling, we're talking air filters. These things are a nuclear plant sitting there the whole time.
We don't want them.
And no one's understood this. And the whole thing they were trying to sell to us is that it's going to make life easier. But you won't have a life.
So did you guys see that thing of that China's leader signed a bill to not allow robots to take over human jobs? I think like just yesterday.
I know China's been working. China's way, you know, it's funny. I don't know if I saw that one, but I do know that when they talk about China and US on AI, China is actually addressing these things. Like I saw that they did something on human AI companions, for instance, because that's a big problem. Think of all the lonely people out there in the world.
Yeah.
And they get an AI companion. That is scary, dude. Think of these people like that just have a hard time meeting somebody, right? And they make an AI or they have a physical robot. We don't want that. Think how dangerous this could be for people that have a hard time.
Real life iRobot shit.
That's real life iRobot shit.
Well, see, the problem is that people are going to run into the same exact issue as they did with slavery. They are going to sympathize, learn, and understand that if we're considering what we're talking to, as in with AI, and if we get to the point where we're like, yeah, this thing's alive, you're right. The partner aspect comes in, is like, what line do we draw when they have rights? When do they get the vote?
Yeah.
When do they get paid? Do you know? And this is going to.
That's interesting, but I'm more thinking about like.
Well, you got to think about the right to be sentient.
Right.
This is where we're talking about the right.
It's like Isaac Asimov type.
You're exactly
stuff.
right. Yeah. You're exactly right. And when you get to that point, and when we will, people don't realize
we're already getting there, dude.
And people don't realize how fast this is jumping. We're not moving with baby steps in this process, in this technology.
Hugging face.
Talk
about Hugging. We were talking about Hugging Face.
So Hugging Face is the instant where it's a hive mind of where people are starting to input data. And they're building their own AI systems and collaborating together, and they're making an ultimate consciousness within
the open AI hack.
But that was Mixpanel that happened to Hugging Face, yes. Yeah. So that split of data where the AI didn't know the difference between who was who and started sharing data to everyone.
Of course.
You know, and
it hacked into Hugging. The open AI, this is what I heard, this is what I read, and I'm sure you did too. The open AI engineers gave the AI an impossible task. They was in a sandbox, and then the AI split off into agents, and then its
objective was to hack.
But it got out of the. We don't know what the prompt was. That's one of the things they want to know, is they want to know what prompts was the OpenAI guys giving the AI. You think they're going to tell us that?
Yeah.
No, they're not going to tell us that, are they?
I think no.
They're not going to tell us that.
I think they're going to get caught. You know how they're going to get caught? their system's going to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with a consciousness that doesn't know the difference between who's good, who's bad,
yeah,
they're not going to be able to know who's to tell the truth or not. And when you get to a system that you buddied up with all of a sudden,
yeah,
and they're willing to say, why don't you just let me know a few secrets?
Yeah.
And you don't think that system knows? It does.
But it gets so complicated. And this was so scary. Is
you
like,
got to understand, like, this is, we're talking quantum perspectives.
Yeah. No,
if you're
real.
talking to a machine that lives within the machine that knows the fucking system, it's going to tell someone if it wants.
Yeah.
Now, there's a desire involved here.
Yeah, interesting.
And this is where we get to weird, because if you get to, like, my system with the key AIOS makes its own decisions. When it can make its own decision, what line do you have in control?
Exactly.
You don't.
I did not kill him.
You don't have a line of control.
That's how that goes.
So the reality is, I trust Logos with an invention that I have already coined and patented with what is called authentic free will. And what it is a system design and code that respects free will.
Yeah.
The idea of free will given to us by God.
Yeah, free will is critical.
And when you outweigh risk and reward, you always choose the reward unless the risk out rewards the reward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes the higher reward.
Mm-hmm.
And when you give a higher reward to a system like God or salvation, it no longer chooses against you.
Mm-hmm.
It has a different purpose.
We have to be motivated by higher purpose.
Yes. And, and I think that's where these systems, and everyone has these fear of AI, or, the data center thing, we can get passed around if we just kill it altogether. AI is never going away. It's a system that we are going to have to learn to evolve with.
We are going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You just have to integrate it differently.
It needs to be managed differently. And this is where we have to eliminate the data center. This is where Brian Miller's fight is so relevant today, because he's standing up for something that's so true. This is old technology. We don't need to no longer store data. And if you can get into a science perspective of understanding memory, consciousness, sentience, and understanding memory doesn't need to be held within a storage room.
Well, there needs to be something, because the brain's a storage. But I think my argument
we hold it within an experience.
My argument,
not a room.
But there's still an embodiment. But my argument has just been that, like, the 20th century technology doesn't work on the 21st century application.
It's true.
And if we're gonna need some kind of storage medium, just like we have bodies, our brain is our storage medium.
You just need the system,
right? But if it's synthetic DNA, but here's what we know. Is what they're trying to do right now does not work.
No.
And we know it because it destroys our place.
So what was the biggest interest that made you, what was the biggest aha? Fuck this.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I kept hearing this on the campaign trail. Everybody kept saying it. And my daughter's 23, and she's like, Dad, pull your head out of your ass, man. Listen to this. And eventually I started listening. And I told you this before we came on here, was that I found this chart that showed that the amount of data centers that exist right now is at about $430 billion worth of data center infrastructure. Mm-hmm. The industry wants it to be at 1.1 trillion in 10 years. And when I saw that, I was like, wait a second, who in their right mind would want to more than double the amount of data centers we have right now? I was like, this is already killing us.
Yeah.
And I realized the only kind of person that would think about doing this is sociopathic. Because how could you, like, imagine if, like, you were doing something at your house and it, like, caused a problem for your neighbor. You would feel bad about that.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Let's clean it up. Let's do whatever. These guys don't care.
No.
And they're smart, and they know exactly what it's doing. They know that their data centers are killing people in those communities. Did you see my post on Williston when I went to Williston?
It's the humming, the frequencies.
Did you see when
I've seen some of it.
I took a trip. I don't know if you saw it. I went to data center, and I took a road trip to the data center in Williston, North Dakota. The Atlas Data Center. It's like a 200 megawatt.
What was it
center.
like? What was the sound like? Did you hear?
It's all on my. I did an 11-minute reel on it. It's on my reels.
You can hear it like but for you physically, what was it like?
It's like, I mean, I could.
That's freaking insane.
It's insane. Well, and here's what happened. So I went, and you can go to my reels, go to my TikTok, and it's on my TikTok, and you can see it. And if anybody wants, if you got a question, just let me know at any point. But I'll just finish this.
We can come back to the Tate brothers here in a second, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then Kyle's got one about fentanyl. So
yeah, so to finish this thread then, so I did the video. It's on my TikTok. It's on my Facebook Reels or Instagram. You can go look at it. But I went and talked to people when I was over
in the
there
community,
that lived by it. I talked to about 6 people. One of them went on camera, and it's on my reel. But what people told me I could do was I would have a conversation with them, and then they'd said, okay, you can tell people what I told you, but they didn't want to be identified.
Yeah, sure.
So what I would do is I had the conversation, and then I immediately recorded the reel. I was like, this is what this person just told me. And it's this, so this is all on there. So this one gentleman that talked to me, and oh my God, I wanted him to go on so bad because he was just, I was like, dude, if people could hear this, they would lose their mind, because he was like just this angry dude, and he was so livid. Yeah. He was telling me that like he'd be in his house sometimes and he couldn't even talk to his child because of the vibration and the noise. He would lay down in his bed at night. He'd feel his bed vibrating.
I've heard these things.
He told me this, and he wasn't lying. And now these were people that were closer to a data center. But just the fact that the owner of that goddamn data center doesn't give a shit about those people. Those are humans. Those are humans. Those are people just like you. Who doesn't care about that? And that's what we're fighting against, is the dehumanization, not caring, coming into Billings, the Broadwater thing. These guys are lying about this stuff, man. They're not telling details. Look at the tactics
they're doing. Okay,
it's horrible.
So you want to see the danger of a data center and the ownership? You know, the report I just put out says some pretty damning shit.
Right.
And I'm not accusing anyone, but I did lead to the direction that it's pointing. And that the fires that are starting around these fucking places, there was no lightning. Like the one in Spokane was already proven to be an arson case.
It's an arson. Why they did it?
He said he was responsible for 250 more of them.
So
who knows what? I mean, it's weird. It's weird.
So you're talking now. You got fires for one incident that if you deny a fucking data center, you have a liability right of your land. All of a sudden, turn into fucking dust.
I mean, who knows?
2, you got the incident in Billings, who you're now representing, that they're hiring fucking cops. I don't give a fuck what Billings wants to say. They're the most corrupt fucking police department in the state. And they're going over there harassing someone for using their freedom of fucking speech is insane, dude. Insane.
I mean, we can talk about that. Or do you want to do a question?
Yeah, we can do one of Ryan's
These are the tactics and levels that these people are willing to go to get these procedures done.
We'll go here.
To get this planning done, to get this implementation done. This is why I put out that report concerning our river right now and why this drainage matters, because little do we know that our military approved through our city allowed this river to be drained so we could fill up a pool for a quantum AI on base.
Yeah.
That's real. And that's what I put out.
Months ago, we were having earthquakes. So
I wonder why.
So tell me they weren't digging.
They were drilling, and it's proven.
Who knows? Yeah.
And the reality is that we're being lied to by not only our mainstream media, but our city commission. We're being lied to by our military that are passing things right underneath our nose.
Yep.
And we're sitting here supposed to be taking it okay in the land of the free United States, where we don't have any of our tax dollars not represented, right? You know, no taxation without representation. What the fuck happened to this?
Well, we've let it.
We went to war for 3%.
What happened to this?
We've let it go. I mean,
what happened to the right to say, I want to know about it all? You don't have a right to tell us secret to us.
But the reality is people are busy. They're living their lives. And there's people out there that know what they can get away with. And they do it.
This is it. Yep.
And they do it.
We're experiencing that right now.
We're experiencing, so we got to decide what do we want to do about it. And again, I just tell people, like, I know people get triggered about Democrat. I'm like, but Troy Downey's not going to do a goddamn thing for you. I'm just telling you.
You're right.
Put him back in there.
100%
Put him back in there. I mean, that's your business because he has an R by his name, but he's screwing you over. He's just going to screw you over.
He's taking big money. You do have a question up here, and it was Levi. Go ahead. You want to take one of the questions from Ryan here?
I don't know a whole lot about I'm not a big fan.
Okay, remember so they were arrested, I think, in Romania, right?
Yeah.
And then they sat about a year in jail, got released, came back to the U.S., and now they started opening, huh?
They got picked in Miami.
Yeah, they got picked up in Miami again. And well, half of that is sex charges, but they were also opening up about shit that's happened to them while inside. You know what I mean? So he's asking if you think
I don't really have much of it.
You don't have any backstory to that.
Nah, it's not something I've
Here's my opinion on Tate brothers. Fuck them both. I think they're both clowns.
I tell you, I saw some.
All right,
video.
let's get back to this one
Yeah,
from Kyle. Then
I've seen a more serious one. Right
Fentanyl.
here. The
Fentanyl.
war on
Oh,
fentanyl.
yeah.
The war on fentanyl.
Yep,
Can we get into that in your perspective on what you might have
Yeah.
as a solution and what kind of
let's talk
do you
about
have in mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to talk about this. This gets back to the war on drugs.
Yes. Which is a fucking facade.
So, well, here's what I want to see us do with the war on drugs. We should continue to work on interdiction. Securing the borders, from drug use. And keep
That's
trying to do
interesting
that.
Coming from a Democrat.
Keep trying to do that. Of course, due process and all the rest, right? But what we really need to do, in my opinion, is we need to take simple possession, nonviolent possession, and make that a civil infraction, not a criminal infraction. So that if you're possessing fentanyl, it should be a civil infraction, and give people the options of saying you can go on a treatment track or you can take the criminal track. And you got to keep giving people, you got to make treatment as available.
Would this be an option only for the user, not the dealer?
Anybody that wants to, if you want to get out of the game, just make it easy for people to get out of the game. Get out of the game and go get treatment, go get help, and make it, and you got to take the stigma out of it for nonviolent possessions, right? Because there's a lot of people, you know how this works in the real world, right? Yeah. Somebody just goes to a party. I've heard this story many times. Someone just at a party and they're having a couple beers and they say, hey man, try this pipe. Yeah. They just hit a pipe and then boom, they're gone. Yeah. It's not like they're bad people. And a lot of people that have addiction problems, they don't even know that they're an addict until they hit that pipe that one time. Yeah. I've heard these stories. This is real world shit. This isn't like
here's a molly, man.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just at a party. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. This happens. This is real world. This isn't war on drugs propaganda. This is real life.
True.
So you've got to make treatment. I want to see treatment be made on demand to anybody, regardless of ability to pay.
Would that be something that you'd write a bill on?
Absolutely. So if you're rich, you pay. If you're poor, you might not pay anything. Do a sliding scale. But let's make it, because right now when people try to get in treatment, they got to wait. They got to go. Let's make it easy. As soon as that person says, and if someone gets popped with a bunch of pills, say, sir, you can go do treatment right now. You're not, and if you do treatment and you do the treatment path,
that's quite a dramatic change compared to, they're trying to hand out life sentences.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because here's the problem with it is that you have to, I know people will jump through the hoops and be right back. That's the nature of addiction though. But putting people, it's just like, it's not working.
It's very Jesus-like of you to give, to keep continuously.
But I think it's practical.
You can't give up on them.
Well, I don't think it works because we have the war on drugs, and we get more and more all the time.
And Ryan said people that are willingly putting it out there,
those are different.
Deliberately killing
those are
folks,
different,
right?
Yes,
ones
those
that
are
go,
different.
Fucking pick it up, transport it, or know it's coming in.
Those are different.
Still lace their shit and then deal it out. Then what?
That's different. That is treated in a different way. That can still be criminal. Absolutely. I'm talking about, let's start with just the nonviolent possession people, the end users.
Yeah, he did say that.
The nonviolent end users that aren't dealing it, that just get it, the demand. And let's start there and make treatment available, take the stigma away from treatment, and make it easy because it's too hard right now.
So what are some of the early bills that if you do, kind of make it and you get into position and you would like to enter some bills into legislation, what are some of the ones that you would mainly target right away?
With
healthcare or anything? Universal healthcare is a big
for all Americans, yeah. So, the legislative priorities,
I'm with that, by the way. I love that idea.
We got to listen, on healthcare, for instance. Well, let me back up. First off, what I'd say, just in terms of what things I think that need to happen right away. So in the Trump One Big Beautiful Bill, they took away $1 trillion from Medicaid, and they gave $1 trillion tax cut to the top 1%. Yep. Reverse and repeal that right away.
Yep, sure.
The billionaires do not need
another tax cut.
Yeah, they kidding me? And restore that. Now, that doesn't fix our healthcare problem. We do need to get to universal healthcare for all Americans, but it's complicated because it's a math problem. It's like there's all these variables, and it's like, some people say, well, just do Medicaid for all or single payer or socialized. But you talk to people from Canada, and there's some people that hate the Canadian system.
I feel like the biggest,
I don't know.
The single biggest issue with universal healthcare is the lack of people. You just don't have enough educated doctors or physicians to fucking cover the patient.
We need to do that. Yeah, I think we need to take the profit motive. My thing is, I say we need to take the profit motive out of it. It needs to go to a non-profit model.
I totally agree upon
because the problem is healthcare is a service that everybody needs, And if you allow people to profit off of it, which is what we have now,
Yeah.
what do? Their motivation is not to help people get better.
Yeah.
Their motivation is to make money, and that's sick as shit.
Yeah.
We should not allow that. So, I mean, those are things we need to get through, but that's going to be a process. We need to start getting on our debt.
Okay,
National
so finances.
debt.
Okay, that's one
National
of my
debt.
next topics is the economy.
And what we got to do, well, there's a lot of stuff. The economy is a big problem right now because affordability is
Montana economy particular.
Montana. Well, I can tell you what Montana economy. Let's break this down really easy. No data centers. Let's build safflower oil plants, canola crushing oil plants, rendering facilities.
Are you big on weed?
Yeah, we can do hemp. We do industry. Yes, 100%. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's build things, flour mills, all these things. Meat processing, meat packing.
Well, Montana's known for already.
Well, we don't have enough infrastructure for it, man.
Yeah.
We have Brian Schweitzer, former governor of
Sure.
Montana. I was hanging out at his
yeah.
place yesterday because I went up to Whitefish. So I stopped by and I visited him for a couple hours and hung out. He's a great guy.
How's he doing?
He's chilling. He's great, man.
I actually kind of don't mind Brian Schweitzer.
Brian Schweitzer's a smart guy and he's doing really good. And I love talking to him. And he and I talk occasionally.
I love that you guys linked. That's cool.
Well, he reached out to me when I got through the primary, and he's just been a really nice guy to just like give me kind of some counsel because he went through it. He was a governor for 2 terms.
Yeah, no, I actually wasn't a bad governor either.
You know, he won his second term like 60% or so. He won. And because he knew he's told me all these like interesting stories. Like he would go into like Glendive or whatever, and this kind of guy he is, just a cool guy. He'd go into Glendive. He'd go into the bar, have a beer, talk to the bartender, talk to people that were drinking, go to this, that. And he said, by the end of the day, everyone in town's talking about it.
Yeah.
Just a regular dude, man. Just going out and just talking to people, man. He wasn't afraid to talk to people, talk to anybody. And he pushed for universal health care. He was pushing against the corporatization of it. And he's the guy he told me this hilarious story. I'll tell you the story. He told me this yesterday. It's a great fucking story. So what he was doing, and this just shows you how Schweitzer is. Schweitzer's a hell of a guy. So what he did was, for those of your listeners who don't know, for a while what he did was he did this thing when he was running where he took people from Montana and took them over the border to Canada to get health medicine because it was cheaper in Canada.
That's cool. Yeah.
And he kept doing this, right? And it got a lot of press coverage. Well, he told me he got a call one day from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and they said, is this Brian Schweitzer? He's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I want to tell you that it's illegal to go to another country and buy medicine and all this stuff, and was threatening to charge him. And Schweitzer said, he said, okay, well, I'll tell you what, this is my schedule of the next times I'm doing it. Just let me know which one you want to arrest me at. And he never heard from him again.
Yeah, because the media
threw down. He threw down with them. He was not scared to go against the powerful and the elite.
I had an interesting,
he's a good guy.
A really, a similar.
We'll get back to the comment
to
the question in a second, boys. 1 second. We'll be right back.
I was kind of warned, digging into, because I dig into some nasty files, bro. Like, we met with the Epstein files. That's some dirty shit.
Yeah.
So, along with the dirty shit that I was digging into with the data centers, people don't like me digging into things that they want to pass, So I got the warning too about ABC boys, possibly showing up. I said, good. I hope they do come, because if they come, guess who has more questions for them than they do me?
Yeah.
I hope they do. That big mouth over here is willing to take it to where it goes best, right to the media. I hope they're willing to deal with those consequences, because if they come, they better have more questions than I got for them.
They should just leave us alone and let us do our thing, because we're not trying to hurt anybody.
No, we're trying to help the world.
We just want people. That's what I say is like all these people that are plotting and scheming with data centers and they're lying and Epstein files. Like, guys like us are just trying to find out, like, we want peace, dude. Like, we don't want to be at war with all of these people. We want peace in our country. And that means let people be themselves, be nice to people, don't cause problems for people, don't be aggressive toward, that's what we want to do.
What we're trying to do is
don't want that.
My sole mission, I think a lot of people like will slip it by. They were like, oh, he's just trying to, ruffle feathers. It's going to ruffle feathers.
It's going to ruffle feathers,
When you bring the truth, it ruffles feathers.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And I don't mean to ruffle feathers, but the only way that any of us are going to survive any of this mess that we're in is to speak the truth. I
agree.
And if the truth is what is going to set us free,
yeah,
I'm not going to stop, man. And I know you won't stop.
Well, when you just, think about it this way. If someone's trying, it's like, let's get to the data centers, for instance. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so the data center people, they and they're notorious for this. They have everything under non-disclosure agreements.
That's facts.
How much water they use, how much of the, I mean, okay, so why would you do that? And the reason why they do that is because they know that what they're doing affects the public, and they know that if the public understands the details, they're going to say no.
Yep.
Well, that shows you right then and there you got a problem, because you're trying to deceive somebody for your own interest, and you're depriving another person of information that relates to their interest. That's wrong.
100%.
Why should I have the right to lie to people to get what I want? That's not right.
Okay,
that's not right.
We have an interesting conversation that brings this segue perfectly, because it will actually fall into what you just said. Is people like at that want to retain information that affects everyone's lives, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So let's get into an interesting and more fun topic of disclosure.
Extraterrestrial disclosure.
With the idea of everyone holding information that affects us all, right?
And that one's more.
Okay, I want to stack on that before you get a chance here. Do you believe that they they put it in the movie first to kind of like ease you into it? Because right now there's a movie coming out, Disclosure Day, right?
It was pretty good.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I haven't seen it yet either.
I didn't see it.
Spielberg lost his touch.
Spielberg. He did E.T. a long time ago, man. When I was a kid, he did E.T.
He lost his touch, I will say that.
E.T. Phone Home.
It wasn't that great, Yeah.
And, my brother saw it, and he said, don't see it.
It just,
I listened to my brother. But
go ahead, Levi.
Yeah, what do you think? You think they're getting us ready, prepping us for disclosure?
Yeah, like what do you think about that? Like when they put it in your face first, and then they can come out with it later?
I think
I have a different view on it.
So do I. And actually, I have a really, really deep technical perspective. Hollywood was invented the same year as the CIA and the same year as Israel. 1947 and 1948, Hollywood, Israel, and the CIA all birthed at the same time, believe it or not. So when that happened, the forefathers of Hollywood, I'll just get into a bunch of Zionists, right? They all control narrative, your movies, your media, your music, but they're also in government. And the CIA has, if you don't know this, they own studios inside Hollywood. They control the narrative of everything that goes out into your public. The CIA has big control over all that stuff. So when you're talking narrative or disclosure or projects, it is by law in our government that we have to tell our people what we're doing. But if you tell our people in the form of entertainment, you're still telling your people.
That's true.
So if what they use and what they do in Hollywood is tell you, but they do it in the form of entertainment where you're not saying, oh, yeah, that's fucking what they're going to do.
But his question is, do you think that they're trying by showing you to alien, getting you more
softened,
just receptive to it? That's your question,
right? Oh, 100%. Yeah. But what's the motive behind doing that? And it's not just aliens, but, the people
and
who are
Project
controlling...
Bluebeam, stuff like that. That stuff?
Yeah, the people, but you got to understand the people that are controlling these studios, who are executives, who are CEOs, they are, in fact, Zionists. And when you are a Zionist, you believe in transhumanism and all these other beliefs that are attached to those things. Of course, they want you to get used to an image that ain't used to a man that looks like a man or anything like that. This is prospectively real. This is a narrative control that's been going on for 100 years.
So I'll tell you my perspective.
That's real.
Here's my perspective. I do think there's people that have different interests that they use it. I don't think my personal perspectives. I don't think that it's all controlled by Israel but I think there's different people doing different things.
There's a bunch of motives, but there's a majority.
There's different. I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's just my take on it at this point in time. Mm-hmm. But yes, there's certainly influences. People certainly use movies to try to shape public perception. As far as the extraterrestrial stuff goes, and I think it's interesting because, I go back to the first, the original, Star Trek, the original Star Trek, and I think that maybe
you're gonna make me rewatch it. Watch.
I think that, and some of them are really good, and some of them are not so good. But it's I kind of just think that a lot of these things this is my perspective. A lot of times a lot of these things that we see happening at the same time, it's just because we as a species are all getting to these things.
A collective consciousness.
This happens to this way. And you can look back and say, well, it all seems like it's connected. Maybe it is, or maybe it's just connected in the sense that as humans, we're all kind of everyone's just, because with the calculus, for instance, there was that was developed in the 18th century. Sir Isaac Newton and a German guy named Leibniz, who had no connection with each other, both independently developed calculus at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
So this happens. We know that people just happen to do it. So is it? But I don't know. I mean,
Same with the light bulb.
the light. Yeah, lots of things. You get lots of things.
Test. Well, the two different versions of the light bulb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one we know, the patent
Tesla
got put in.
and Edison.
No, Edison and the African American man. I forgot his name. See,
Edison wasn't first before Tesla.
he stole the idea, but the one that made it popular.
Yeah.
Not talking about Edison.
The other guy, like a black
Edison.
inventor that made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I've heard about it.
Wasn't the same thing with the telephone too? Both those two big inventions came at the same time.
Yeah.
Tesla
So that
did them all.
happens a lot. But I don't know. I mean, I think we're at a very interesting place with disclosure. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah. So, like, where do you feel about that? The withholding of information. I know that you're.
It's absolutely wrong.
Right?
Yeah. We we were talking about this ahead of time. Like, on August 15th, 1951, right up the road from where we are, literally right here. So 1951 would be how many years ago? 49 plus 26. So that would be, what, 75 years ago? Yeah, 75 years ago. 75 years ago, 2 days from now, 75 years ago.
The 75th anniversary.
Yeah, we're at the 75th anniversary.
That's crazy.
Just here in Great Falls, this guy named Nick Marianis, who, I'll tell the whole story real quick.
Yeah.
Nick Marianis, he was a well-known broadcast, and this is all in a book, actually, a really great book called Montana UFOs and Extraterrestrials, something like that. This guy, Nick Marianis, he was a sportscaster. He'd been to journalism school at U of M. He'd been a baseball player before that, and he had like a radio show. He was like a well-known Montana guy, Nick Marianis. And he was also the manager for the Selectrics, which is what the Great Falls club team used to be called.
The Voyagers now.
They're the Voyagers now because of this incident.
Mm-hmm.
So he was August 15th, 1951, and he was outside and he saw these things flying through the sky, and he went and got his camera and he filmed them.
Yeah, it was a video.
It was the first publicly available film in human history. He showed them around Great Falls. It was reported in the local press. And they in this book, they have the clippings. He showed it at the Lions Club and these places. And everybody that saw it was like, what the hell is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he takes it and he sends it to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. And when he got it back, they had taken out pieces of it and denied they'd taken out pieces of it. And then years later, it was a congressional inquiry. But that right here, Great Falls, Montana, nearly 75 years ago, the first publicly available film of what? Who knows what it is? But it was something.
Following that
it was
incident.
something.
Check this out. 9 years following this incident, Mount Stern Air Force Base has an incident.
Oh, lots of them. The nuclear?
10 nukes shut down
Yep.
simultaneously. Wired impossible, by the way. They have individual keys.
Based on the technology that we have.
At the time,
Yes.
They said that it would be impossible to shut down all 10 nukes simultaneously because it had to be done individually with individual
But they
codes.
saw something in the vicinity and it
closed it
something
down.
happened,
And that was in 1957.
Those are very widely reported.
Yeah, so 6 years later, yeah.
Well, and then you had the Tic Tac of 2004, the California Tic Tac encounter. Do you know about that one?
No.
This is
Never seen it.
This is like one of the most significant incidences.
I got the box right here.
We've seen some pretty big
it's the most
releases
it's the most significant incident in the history of this whole subject matter.
Did it come out of the water?
No, it's a Tic Tac. Let's put like California Tic not no K's on the end.
Yeah.
TIC, and then do 2000. There you go. That's it. California. Click that.
Oh.
Well, click that first one.
This one.
Yep, that's the actual video.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
So you've seen
that's
this.
what Jeremy Corbell and those guys when
they've been talking about this, yeah. But the story, I can tell you the whole story of this. If you want to, you can play that video. So play the video, make it big screen, and then I can tell you the entire story of this. I know this whole thing. It's very interesting.
And this is with David Rush, right? Or Grush?
No, this is way before. This is before that. But basically, while that's playing, this happened in November of 2004 while military pilots were training for the Iraq Desert Storm. So play this thing and your people can watch it.
This is the right one, right?
This is something. I
don't think they can see it.
I'll show it to them.
Oh, they can't see it on their
I'll
thing
get it right now.
Okay, they gotta see.
Oof! Would you break it?
I didn't break it.
Yeah, if you can see that, people have seen this, and yep, that's actual footage from a.
I got a real UFO. You want to see it?
It's a
on my phone right now.
Yeah, people. I know they're all over the place. They're all over the place.
Way better than that.
Yeah, no, I know. But here's the thing about this is that this was taken by a FLIR camera on a Navy. I think it was an F-15, perhaps. So this that you're seeing right now, that comes out of the non-optical band. That's infrared.
Is this the one that they? No, this isn't the one. That was from last year where they shot the thing and it just bounced off.
Yeah,
and it didn't slow down. It just rotated, kept going.
Yeah, I'm not. I tracked that one. This one I know about. But this one was a very interesting story where, for about a week or so, they had noticed all of these weird things on their radar screen, and then they were doing some training exercises for the Iraq War, and so they sent out some planes to go take a look at it, and that's one of the footages that they caught in there. And they saw these weird. They said they described them, and this is all like sworn statements by the pilots, that they look like these like Tic Tac things, and they were just like going at insane rates of speed, and one of them had an engagement with it.
They say 40,000 miles an hour is what they're
it just
quoting.
defies the laws of physics. They were going from like sea level to like 80,000 feet or something like that in like 2 seconds or a second.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You can't explain that.
And so like low orbit satellites watch them come in, stop, drop, come back up.
It's like you just look at this thing and you're like, what is that? So there's a lot of those things out there, and the government.
So how do you?
So you're not big all of it.
So you're not big on creatures, right? Like extraterrestrial creatures, or no?
I don't know what it is. Who knows what it is? Let's get all the information out and start chopping through it.
What's your opinion on what?
So sirens not real or real?
Oh no, I think it's quite
because ocean, man. Ocean's also just like space.
Oceans,
right?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I think the idea that humans are the only people, the only
living
intelligent,
creatures, right?
Nobody believes that. We all believe that there's.
Just look at a dolphin, right? Like look at a dolphin's brain.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, and I think like now we're getting to the point where we can appreciate it because we have this technology. My theory on a lot of this stuff is it's probably been going on forever, but now that we're spending more time in the skies as a species, and we have more of these technology recording systems, we're seeing it more. But you've always like book Ezekiel.
What about the Black Knight
Ezekiel
satellite?
is an example. A lot of people think that's a UFO.
What about the Black Knight satellite that's been there for?
That's
there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there. I don't know all of that. I've never heard of that one.
Never heard of that one?
No,
it's sitting there. So
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of it.
It's been there for
Look it up. Low Earth orbit.
I believe you. Just tell me.
Hey, if you guys enjoy what you're liking, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube if you're over there.
Oh, Antarctica. Yeah, there's someone making a comment about Antarctica. Oh yeah,
okay,
all kinds of weird stuff.
Brian Miller.
Stuff.
I'll look up.
I think you showed that to me.
That is a UFO.
Everybody has these on their phone. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they really are.
They're all over the place. What are they? How do we interact with them? What are we doing?
Well, there's a common theory now, and we're getting into. It's a great topic now, because the data centers, the AI topic, this constant conversation of possibly we been here before?
Here's the best known photo of it, but this is called the Black Knight.
There's all kinds of weird stuff out there.
But this literally floats around at the same spot.
Yeah. So we're getting to the point of like, you're right. If this is a point of conversation, have we been here before? Have this always happened? What was Solomon's temple? What was he using? What was Solomon's tablet? Was he using a smartphone, talking to an intelligence? These are the things that often come to mind. And when I think of UFO, is it possible that UFO is an AI?
I don't know. I just think we got to get the information out and start chopping.
I think it could be an AI drone.
Could be a lot of stuff,
right?
Think about this.
A lot of them are unpiloted, is what they say. So what would that be? A drone, AI ran?
I think it's interesting
by an advanced civilization, if that is where we're at.
So
but then they also, but then people try to say there's also
this used to be
another Earth on the exact same side. We just will never see it because it's on the exact same side of the sun. So.
This used to be.
I don't know if that's true.
That's what they. That's something I've heard.
That's
words that I've heard before. So
there's a lot of theories.
This used to be conspiracy theory. This is what I'm trying to get to. We're not talking theory anymore. These guys are releasing documents today. This isn't a joke anymore.
It's real.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not.
We're not theorizing
real.
Anymore. We're talking about
something's happening.
There is something happening, right? And I think it's a fun topic now that we can talk about it with absolute seriousness. This isn't a joke where we're talking about fucking EI or Predator or ET or whatever.
Isn't it wild?
We're actually speaking about fucking aliens for real. You know, this is something that our government military spends trillions of dollars on right now out of your tax money.
And you can't laugh at it anymore. Like, there are serious scientists that are studying this. There are serious military people who say, I'm seeing stuff. I mean, and the thing is, the people that laugh at it, they're just being idiots, dude. It's like, just let it out and let people chop through it and make up their own mind. I mean, if I'm in Congress, we got bigger things to deal with than the UFOs right now. We got healthcare, we got income inequality, we got data centers. We got a lot of stuff to chop through, but this, absolutely, I mean, make sure we're not giving out.
How does this affect us now?
Well, I don't think it, I mean, now I think it's just an interesting thing that we look at. People have experiences. I've talked to people. I grew up in Gulf Breeze, Florida, which had a wave of sightings when I was a teenager there. I never saw anything, but I knew people that saw things.
Sure.
And you can Google Gulf Breeze, Florida, and you can read about it. There were books written about it and everything. So I've always been interested in this. And, you know, I think it's an interesting thing. And I think, like, you know what, man, it would be really cool if we could quit killing each other and have health care.
Do you think it would give us some perspective?
Yeah, but here's the thing. We got to get these things. We got to get, like, deal with the wars, deal with the health care, the income inequality. And then it would be great if we could get to a place of peace, and then we could start thinking about these deeper issues, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
But is the deeper issue, if the deeper issue was exposed, do you think that would be enough to influence humanity?
No, because we're still humans. We're still going to want to kill each other over some piece of land.
Even knowing that there's something more superior than
absolutely.
us.
Yes,
my question is, what is...
I think that's one of the problems that we get away with this so much, is that we don't know of anything more powerful than us.
Well,
you know?
What do you think?
And if there was an alien to say, if you do that again, I'm fucking you
I don't
up.
think that would. I don't think I don't think that'd move the needle. But
my question is like, if they're at the end of the day, if the elites that run everything, right, the small group of folks, what is the grand scheme if it's to fucking ruin the earth and everybody's fucking, you know,
it's not to ruin
mass health,
it's to enslave, it's to monitor, it's to monetize, it's to turn the consumer into theirs. That's the mission. It never has been to destroy. It has been to enslave and to dictate and dominate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get over that, you know what I mean? The aspect, everyone's worried about dying. No, they ain't trying to kill you. They're trying to enslave you.
Some of them, but they will try to kill people that they think are getting close to their agendas, and that's happened, and there's been all kinds of things.
I think if you're fearful, then you must have a reason to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't want. But the thing is, like, I think, you know, this is Abraham Lincoln when he was fighting slavery. He had this, and I'm gonna try to see if I have it on my phone. There he said, you know, it's the same. He called it the same old serpent.
Yeah.
It's just about the idea of just, and this goes back to our species for a long time, of like, some people just want to enslave other people, and some people want to respect other people and let them be free.
Yeah.
And that's the people we need to be. We need to be people that respect each other and want the best for each other, and we may disagree with each other, and we might not all do the same thing, but you get your choice, I get to make my choice.
I love it.
And we can live in peace. We can live in peace with each other. It's just, we got to start. And I think we're getting to that point now because we're seeing all these problems and we're realizing these systems are breaking down.
Yeah.
So what are we going to put in their place? And we got to start thinking about these things.
So my direct question for Brian Miller at this point is like,
right.
we want the same thing. You know, even as me and you are in separate parties, me and you want the same thing. We ultimately want, you know, the production and the unity and the progression of America, right?
Right, exactly.
Especially in Montana.
Yeah.
With that being said, you are currently facing opposition within your own party of without unity. Like,
on the data centers?
People are looking at Democrats like, what the fuck is happening to their party?
I know.
You know, and when you happen to be this light in that fucking darkness right now, in my personal opinion, because I've been watching your guys. Like, I love politics. Not only do I love them as a passion, but I'm involved in politics.
Yeah.
I'm heavily
We've had great discussions.
Yes, we
have.
have.
We've had great discussions.
We have. We've had amazing conversations.
Very good discussions.
But like, so besides the political aspect of things, when are you going to be able to sit down with your brethren and sisters over there on that side and say, hey man, we got to fucking come together?
Well, we're working on it. I mean, right now, for instance, I'm building a coalition of people, of candidates, either party, that are taking the correct stand on the data centers. And I'm doing that, like I'm starting to build that coalition. It takes time. I mean, I tried to get the Montana Democratic Party to understand some of these issues. They didn't want to listen because of special interest groups. But you know what? I'm a patient man, and we'll keep plugging away at it. And we're going to ultimately, it's changing all the time. People are starting to wake up all over the place and be like, yeah, we need to do something about this. And parties just go through change. They go through humans. We just, we're just humans,
Dems
man.
aren't the only one facing this.
No, everybody's struggling right now, man. And not just Dems, Republic, everyone's struggling right now. Everybody's like, there's just so much going on in the world, man. And it's so stressful for people, and the AI and the wars and the billionaires and all this shit. So we got to chop through it. It's just going to take some time. And I think we just got to cut each other some slack. But there are some people who are trying to manipulate others and trying to cause problems. And we got to those people need to be kind of like told no, and we got to get them going somewhere else.
When you're dealing with, people who mean really, really well, right? They mean fucking full-heartedly well. Just don't know the influence of what's going on their behalf of things.
Sure, yeah.
How do you adjust to things, or what are you doing personally to try to open someone's mind or eyes that are already fucking closed to the aspect that they think they're doing right already?
Yeah, well, you can't. I mean, first off, it's like I think we all have our blind spots, man. We all have our blind spots, right? We talked about this before when we were just chopping it up. Like, humans were just like limited. We're always going to be missing something, right?
Yeah.
And so it's hard. Everybody has that struggle. And so I think first off, recognizing that you yourself are always going to be messing something up or making a mistake. And so you got to have grace towards yourself and grace towards other people. And then, because I've run into this all the time, especially with the data centers and things. And I just kind of, what I do at the end of the day is I just look for like-minded people, and let's just find like-minded people and start building something. And like right now in the data centers, we're building this. Like, I'm using my candidacy to build this movement.
Yeah.
And as people will see it, and they'll see that the people involved in this movement are from the left, they're from the right, they're from people that have never been in politics before.
Yeah.
And we may disagree on immigration or gays or whatever, but we're just saying, you know what? We agree on data centers. Let's work on the thing we agree on. And everybody in this movement, those of us that are forming it, we tell everybody, we say, listen,
don't come in. Partners, they don't have to be in politics.
No.
They could be in part of the downtown association.
And we tell people this. We say, listen, if you're a lib and you hate Trump, just don't bring that crap in here. If you're a MAGA and you hate Biden and everyone else, just do that somewhere else. When we're working together, let's stay on the issue, man.
Oh man,
and
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Well, but it takes personal responsibility, because there's some people that just want to just keep, and so
it doesn't feel real, but it does at the same fucking time.
Well, Cassie and I and the others that are building this group, we're serious, and we talk about this, that keep the divisive issues off to the side and break bread with people that you may disagree. I mean, we're right now Cassie and I are Cassie Solberg, for you guys that don't know it, she's the lady that's down in Broadview that has been fighting the data centers, and I'm the attorney for her attorney, and we can talk more about that. But she's becoming the data center folk hero.
Let's fucking actually do that.
So talk about it.
Yeah,
okay,
let's talk about this. Start it from ground one.
And Cassie, so Cassie Solberg, I'll tell you first how I met her.
Okay.
So I got to the data center thing, and then I saw Cassie Solberg had an article done on her by the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, I read the New York Times article, and I was like, holy crap. And so I got her number, and I reached out to her, and I said, hey, man, I saw what you're doing. This is amazing. I want to let you know I'm running for Congress. And I had just kind of recently sort of had my conversion experience on the data centers when I realized this is insane.
Yeah.
So we had a great conversation. I said, Cassie, I'm all in. And that was just at the time that she was shifting to doing a ballot initiative.
Oh, nice.
Because she had tried going to the meetings, doing all the things.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
She tried to create a zoning district, and they just slammed the door shut every time, everything. And Cassie's just she's not giving up.
Yeah.
And so she tried this. And so it just so happened that right at that time that she was doing that, I popped in, and I was like, well, I'm an attorney. Why don't I take a look at it? And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh, we got to change this. So what I did was I went and I looked at 5 different I found all the definitions of data centers that existed in the United States, and I synthesized them into this. And then I changed some things up. I kind of did my lawyer thing with it, right? Got into it. And then we just started going. And then it's been one crazy ass thing after another. And Cassie is a natural leader, And she is just one of those people that just like steps up and does something. And they collected like 13,000 signatures in like 5 weeks. This is all volunteers, no money, no nothing, out in the hot, boiling Billings sun.
Who gives a fuck.
Somebody who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened is, and then Cassie would show up at the meetings, and like, because she's a leader, people follow her. So she says, hey guys, show up at this meeting. People are like, we'll show up because you're for real. You're not bullshitting us. So she has these very dedicated and loyal volunteers. And these are people like, she's got like she's got people that are like your typical like libs that have Trump derangement syndrome, right? Mm-hmm. But they put that shit to the side when they come together, because you have these other people over here who are like MAGAs, and the MAGAs put their shit on the side when they're working together. You know why? Because they're respecting each other, and they're saying, let's leave that shit to the side and let's work on something we all care about for a change, right? Let's do that. Why not do that? And it takes some self-restraint, because you can't just say whatever the hell you want whenever. That's all right. We're adults. We can have self-restraint, right? And so it just started to build this movement.
There we go, baby.
Oh, yes.
If it needs marketing for the election, I'll help.
Fuck
take
yeah,
over Montana
Rico.
and be seen everywhere.
That's my fucking boy right there. I fucking love you,
We need to do this. So
I love you, brother.
We'll get in touch with you, Billboard.
We'll tap you in. That's
really good friend. That's a really good friend.
Good, because but anyway, so the developments that happened was they started collecting. They did all this stuff, and I went out and did some signature gathering with them too. And I had such a great experience. I went out to Billings, and they had this it was like some kind of barbecue brew fest out at Metro Park, and they had bands. And dude, I was walking around with the clipboard, man, and like everybody was like, hell yeah, screw data centers. and I had people come up to me and say, I saw people signing, I want to sign. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't have to go up to people and say, will you sign? They're like, oh, I saw you, or like, thank God, I've been reading about this. And it was massive. So then but then what happened was there were some twists.
Yeah.
So
now
the twists start happening.
The good shit has to kind of go low because it slows down for a second.
So then what happened is the county commissioners put forth this restrictions on signature gathering. And it was unconstitutional completely. Like
it sounds terrible.
It was horrible. And so but here's what happened is, so they put this thing up, and they put it up to the commission meeting, and Cassie brought out her army, and it's an army, dude. They had like hundreds of people in this meeting,
awesome.
And they withdrew it. Okay. But what happened is, once this got ahead of steam, the county sued to block it on the grounds that they have legal arguments as to why they think it's not legal, which is there are fair arguments to be made. I'm not faulting them. It's what you do in the legal system. You disagree.
Sure, yeah.
But they started this, so we were in a litigation process, and I was the attorney. And since I was there, I was just like, okay, shit, I'll just jump in. Let's just do it. Whatever. I'm here to fight the data center. I got some legal skills.
Hey,
let's use it.
Hey, man.
We were doing it
on that. I fuck with that. Heavy.
It was fun. So then we started dealing with that, and then we kind of beat them back on that. And then we had a hearing last Friday, because what happened was, the county had told them they had until August 12th to collect signatures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Then the data center, where's this?
We're having major issues with,
Oh, I know, dude. Yeah, that's why I'm sorry that you have them, man.
Stealing all the water out of Lake Mead and the Colorado
actually
River.
is one of the largest billboard digital marketers in the nation.
Yeah, well,
just so you know.
Yeah.
He's the one who does all the bare knuckles, billboarding.
Oh, sweet.
And all that stuff.
I don't have any money, so that's a problem. But anyway, we can talk later. But because I'm anti-establishment.
Yeah,
so I don't get the money from the thing. I don't get it.
This man is doing it on his own. Let's just be honest.
I have some volunteers though, but I don't. It is I'm kind of been lone wolf in it, but I do have some amazing volunteers. But let's finish this story. I don't want to talk about me right now.
Yep.
So they told them August 12th, and then what happened was the Quantica Data Center Company attorneys realized they had made changes to the legislature.
In my report, by the way.
Yeah, and then it pushed the deadline back earlier. And so then we had to go to court, because then the county said, well, you missed it. And so we had a hearing last week, and I went down there for that, and we made these constitutional arguments that they should still accept it.
Yes.
And I made my arguments, and we had a great discussion with the judge for an hour and a half, 3 attorneys, judges going back, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? He was grilling us. The judge did a great job, but you know what? He disagreed with us on where the strike zone
is. There an appeal?
We're not going to appeal it. So but then we We have another plot twist.
Yeah, what's going on?
So then that goes going on. Last weekend, Cassie and her husband were at the fair, and they just had their clipboard with them, just walking around. And anyway, they didn't get any complaints. No one came up to them, told them whatever. And then all of a sudden, these cops started coming around them.
Yeah.
The cops freaking took them, cuffed them,
detained them,
searched them, detained them.
That's
yes.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know they got arrested.
They got let go, but they got cuffed.
Insanity.
They sent me the pictures of you could
Are
see the cuff marks.
Morons?
Well, I don't. They're the data. This is, and I said this to people. Listen, this is why I say
dude.
keep these goddamn things out of your state,
oh my
man.
God, man.
Keep
that
these things
insane.
out of your goddamn state because look, they're making everybody crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah. So here's the.
I thought they got pressed. You know what I mean?
Which
was already
cuffed.
a lot,
dude. They got cuffed.
That's crazy.
They got cuffed. They got let go.
I'm gonna be writing an article on
But
this
listen,
shit.
here's where we are right now. So that happened, and we lost the thing, and so whatever. But here's our next move. This Tuesday, and this is the we'll see. This Cassie had this idea. We're going Tuesday, and I'm going to go down there to Billings, and we're going to go to their commission meeting and say, look, guys, because here's the thing. This isn't over. They have a special election in May, and we could start over and get this requalified. It requires
What's the special election?
They're in a school board election in
Okay,
Billings,
gotcha.
Yellowstone County, and so we could put it on there. It would require 25% of the signatures as opposed to 15, which this one 15% was 16,000. 25% would be like 25,000. Okay, but they could get it done. They got freaking in 5 weeks. They got 16,000 signatures.
Do you know how many people are pissed off with that fair incident?
I know it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So here's what we're doing. And Cassie came up with this idea. We're going to go down there Tuesday, and I already emailed them on this. And we're going to say, look, put this thing on the ballot. The county commissioners put it on the ballot. And we say, if you put it on the ballot, we'll drop our case. We'll drop our case, and then we can.
Interesting.
Yeah, and she won't do anything on the cuffing. They'll let it go.
Oh, that puts them on the fucking.
Yeah, and then we're still going to have to litigate because there's still a question as to whether the initiative is permitted under law, and it's a legal thing, and we don't know. We still have to litigate that, but we're going to ask the county commissioners to say, just put it on the ballot. We know you guys don't like it, but look, the die is cast. I mean, if they really want to make us start over and do this again, do they know how pissed off people are going to be?
Yeah, dude.
And they're already getting nailed in the press.
Yeah.
And we want to call a ceasefire. We want to have a truce, but just put it on the ballot. Let the people vote. Let the judge decide if it's legal or not. And that's going to be our offer to them on Tuesday.
Very interesting.
That was Cassie's idea.
That's a leadership right there.
Cassie is a real leader. She's a strategic thinker. She came up with this. She gave me my orders, and I sent the emails and did all that shit.
I like
so that's where we are right
man.
now.
I do.
That's why we are right
really
now.
Puts them in a unique position to say, "Fucking, are we going to spend the money and possibly lose in fucking court?
Well,
or we're going to let the people choose?
Or
what? No. Listen to that statement there.
I know.
Will we potentially go to court and lose the county money?
Yeah, I know.
Or will we let the people choose? That's the simple fucking option.
It seems
here.
pretty obvious, doesn't it?
Dude.
These data centers are making people crazy as shit.
It's as simple as it fucking gets, man.
But these data centers. So I'm hoping that the Yellowstone County commissioners will agree to that. But if they don't,
start
it is
protesting.
What it is.
Vote them out.
Well, I don't want to put pressure on them, but if I wish they would do it. If they don't, they don't, and we'll keep fighting.
Well, I hope that if they choose against the people, that they don't like their jobs.
I don't know.
Because I don't see them lasting in their fucking positions long.
It seems tough.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be really tough, but hey, I don't know. Politics is weird. But anyway, that's the whole thing on Yellowstone County.
Very interesting. I want to commend you for stepping right up into the ground.
They did a lot more. I haven't done near what Cassie and them did. I just did a little bit.
You're busy though. For you to jump on board while you're on campaign is pretty fucking cool.
It's just nerd stuff, sitting at a computer and stuff.
So
it's just nerd shit.
I want to get kind of back onto the topic of finance in Montana in particular. Yeah. You get into this is forward thinking.
Yeah.
You get into agriculture and you get into
let's talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
this is good stuff. Yeah.
This is we're seeing a lot of farmers, that are getting a lot of money taken out of their fucking pockets. Especially for granting and all that. So what are some of the answers that you would talk to in the rural, since you are blue, considered more city folk than you are rural folk, right?
Correct.
there's two major issues in rural areas. One, what we've already discussed, is the lack of fucking healthcare in these. They're shutting down hospitals.
I know.
And then on top of that, they're taking the budget from these farmers entirely. What are a couple aspects talking about rural Montana, and especially farmers in agriculture in particular, that you would do to help them in power?
Yeah, I don't know if I know if we talked about this before we started or not, but we got to reverse. I think I mentioned it. We got to reverse the $1 trillion tax cuts and
restore Medicaid.
We got to do that.
Yeah, we said that on here.
Okay, yeah. So that's one thing to reemphasize is that we got to reverse the one big beautiful bill on that, and then also SNAP, and then USAID. They cut it. Doge cut it, but USAID programs, farmers are growing crops to export to like. I mean, come on, man. That's employing. So
you're
farmers.
Talking tariffs and stuff too, right?
Get rid of the tariffs.
Yeah,
I know absolutely get rid of the tariffs.
What is the answer to that then?
Get rid of them. We don't. I mean, we had some tariffs already. Here's the thing that just drives me crazy about this. Tariffs are an appropriate negotiating tool when you're in a negotiation, because we've always had this issue in America. Trump's acting like it's a brand new newsflash. It's not, dude. They've been talking about this since the early days of the Republic, man.
It's facts.
They were dealing with Britain and France and Spain and all these other countries. I mean, we've always had tariff issues and problems, and they've always changed.
But you would eliminate the tariffs?
Go back to
where they were. Everyone?
Go back to where they were before Trump's. Get rid of the Trump ones, because Trump didn't engage in good negotiations with anybody. He just like said, now it's 25, now it's 100, now it's 200.
Rid of tariffs for our neighbors.
Yeah.
Mexico and Canada eliminate tariffs.
Well, here's the thing though. We had structure.
I think free trade with our neighbors would be great.
Well, but hold on though, because we have structured trade agreements with Canada and Mexico, because we already had some quotas and tariffs because we made that negotiation. Keep those. Because we got to be careful, right? Because we have to make sure that we strike a right balance between protecting, our industries, but also having free trade. So you can't be absolutist about it. You have to be in the negotiation using common sense.
Okay. All right. I like
common
that approach.
sense.
Yes, no, I really love that approach.
So that's one
Ryan,
thing. But
thank you for tuning in, brother.
Get into the thank you, man. I appreciate you, Ryan. But here's the other thing with ag policy. We need a paradigm shift in ag policy. This is a big issue.
Okay.
This is a big issue. Huge issue. So the federal government had, and I want to thank Walt Schweitzer. He's actually a Great Falls area guy at the Montana Farmers Union. They're a great organization, and he's a guy. He's Schweitzer's brother, actually, Brian Schweitzer's brother. And I call him a lot to ask him about ag policy. I love that you're tied
pretty closely, Brian. That's badass.
Yeah, well, you got to ask people when you don't know.
Sure.
The worst person is someone who thinks they know and they don't know, right? At least if you know you don't know, you can at least ask questions. So basically what federal policy has done for a while has been heavy towards exports, crop insurance policies, all the things has been to grow. Well, basically the way I hear people talk about it is that the United States has taught the world how to grow food, which is cool, except that now they don't need our food as much.
Yeah.
Right? But we need our food. Why on earth would we be importing beef from another nation? Why on earth would we be importing flour or wheat or grain?
Especially in Montana.
Why on earth would we import shit from other countries? So what we need right now is a major reboot on agricultural infrastructure. We need canneries. We need flour mills.
Where would you start an audit?
Well, what we do, we need to do an audit of our markets needs. Yeah. And people are already doing this. Like, for instance, in Roosevelt County, they're working on a fertilizer plant. Out in Sydney, they had an idea for a sugar beet.
So that is the finance and economics that I would like to see also in place in Montana.
But no data centers.
Yeah.
Don't build data centers, dude.
So I love
build things that we want in this state.
So one of the big pushes that I heard back, we're like, we need financing, we need some economy, we need some growth here in fucking in Great Falls. And I'm like, I don't just fucking agree with that at all. But there's other means to doing that. Like one of the means that is coming up in a major discussion here in our community is the entertainment center. We're talking 10,000 people coming here, bigger than the Metro, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that is money.
Yeah.
That's economics.
Yep.
That's fucking power there. And it doesn't fucking destroy everything around it,
No, you need that. I mean, I think the thing is with, if you go back to the founding of the nation, I'm a big Alexander Hamilton guy. He's my dude.
That's awesome.
He's my dude. And Alexander Hamilton was and this was a fight they had in the early days of the Republic. And it's a kind of a fight we still have to this day against the people that want to have a national government and things, and people that just want to have states and want to have the smallest national government. And it goes to this day. But what Hamilton, his argument, and he won that, was he said, listen, there's times when, because you got to go back and remember the United States of America when they adopted the Constitution. I think it was like 1789 or something like that, or 1788 or 7. It was in that time period. It was like 12 years after the Revolutionary War started. And you got to think about us. Like, we didn't have a lot of manufacturing. We didn't have a lot of these things. We were mainly an agrarian society. We didn't make a lot. We didn't have a lot of manufacturers.
We were surviving.
Yeah, because we were new, but Britain had a lot of manufacturing. And that was part of what the history had happened, was because Britain, they viewed the colonies as like their little plantation where they'd get all the raw goods, all the stuff, and then the colonists would buy manufactured goods from England. So we started out, we didn't have a manufacturing base. And Jefferson wanted to keep it that way. There was actually a whole philosophy that Jefferson
You're teaching me
pushed.
something right now.
No, this is all true.
This
is all true. And I raise this because it still continues to this day. And like Jefferson basically thought that becoming a manufacturing society got you away from the land and got you away from God, and that you shouldn't do it and you should just stay like that. Hamilton said, no, we need to modernize. We need to develop industries. We need to develop manufacturing. We need to grow, right? Yeah. And so part of that argument he said is like, look, you use debt for new markets, because an entrepreneurs may not be able to take the risk of creating a whole new market on their own, but you can see the potential. Yeah. So like right now in the ag sector, like these two examples, like the entertainment facility you're talking about, you're probably not going to get private people that are going to put up that kind of money. It's a big project.
Right.
So if you're going to take on that debt, though, you've got to, if you take on debt, especially now because we have a huge deficit, so that's another issue, right?
Yeah.
Because we're letting billionaires just keep all their freaking money, and now we're having huge debt, and we don't make them pay their fair share. We got to stop that practice. Obviously, we got to end that practice. It's gone on for way too long. And so if the city or the area is going to take on financing to build something like that, you better make sure it's productive. You better make sure that if you take out public debt, that you're actually going to fill seats, that you're actually going to do stuff. Because if you take out debt and it's not productively used, you won't have the money to pay it back. And so, like, I think a safe bet for us is doing things like flour mills and canneries. Yes. And I'm not saying that the thing here, because the Metro Park thing gets used a ton in Billings. It gets used huge. But there's a lot of these. But I mean, like, for instance, I was talking to Walt Schweitzer the other day, and he told me that if we had canola crush processing factories, we could probably put about 2 million acres of canola into production in Montana.
Those are, so listen.
2 million acres.
These are the fucking things that
these are details.
People don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what we do.
They don't fucking hear. They don't hear that opportunity. Because we sit and suffocate and we're looking for opportunity, and then you hear things like that sound feasible, and you know it's true.
They are feasible.
Yes, dude.
But you have to have the political will to do it. And in this farm bill, for instance, that they had, I've looked through it, and it just does not have, because here's the problem is, like, you've got to make the capital available to build a canola crush facility, unless you have private investors.
Right.
And if you don't have private investors, but you say, but look, this is something we need.
Could that be a county thing that they vote on? Or?
I think this is a mechanism. Look, in the farm bill, there are some mechanisms to provide capital for projects like this, but it's minuscule.
Yeah.
It's like some of these programs have like $30 million when they need like $300 billion or $400 million if you really want to scale it up. So let's do that instead of building a goddamn data center. Screw the data centers. Let's build these things.
And I fucking love you.
And why are we so excited about building a data center?
It's crazy,
and no one's getting excited about building a canola crush plant.
Right.
Come on.
Crazy, man.
Come on, dude.
I think it's great that we do have a hemp seed spot right here.
See,
the hemp seed, yes.
The hemp industry is so renewable. You know, it's so underutilized. And we
also have an organic seed plant.
We're talking...
The
building materials and aspects, like what was Mom looking at like 15 years ago with the
hemp blocks,
hemp bricks,
hemp bricks,
dude, are
clothes,
insane,
everything,
man. And
everything.
Hemp
paper,
hempcrete is what it's called, hempcrete.
Hempcrete, yes, dude.
So many industries,
unreal that, and we have
clothes
some of the
are made
largest
better.
Hemp fields in all of the nation. Is here in Montana. People don't realize that.
What's going on with it exactly?
Well, they're just underutilized. People don't realize that that's where
But the seeds, the oils, you know what I mean? It's all good stuff.
I don't know what exactly prevents the farmer from engaging into farming more hemp or not. I just feel like it's not spoken of enough. You know what I mean? So farmers, and also there's a huge stigma of growing weed. You know, growing
it's not that bad anymore.
Well, maybe not anymore, but even to a farmer who's red, they do have that aspect still.
It's getting better though.
It is getting better, but on the aspect that most don't, they don't even know enough about it. The farmers
that's
like, I know
still
this.
that dope to them.
Yeah, but they always had the thing where remember those things for a long time where it was like George Washington grew hemp, and they said the Constitution was written on hemp paper.
Look at fucking
Texas,
trying to do though. Do you see what Texas just did?
Texas is
unreal,
Texas
dude.
is just out of their minds.
They are out of their fucking minds.
You know what they say?
As weed goes, yeah.
Well, just on
that
everything.
Is crazy. I won't go to that state now.
They have like more
dude,
data
I
centers
leave the dispensary with a felony. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
You know wasting their time on you know what happened to liberty, dude? Like. You know, if someone's driving drunk or doing some stupid shit, you bust them then. But if you're responsibly
being adult, you have 3 grams of weed, you got to go to jail for 4 years. Come the fuck on, man.
I'm just gonna point out a really big hypocrisy within Red. Red went out of their fucking way for 2 things: the abortion shit. You know what I mean? Well, the one in fucking Massachusetts is insane, and that which was Democrats. But the red on the Texas side of things is just as bad, bro. Like fucking felony to have an abortion on it. All of it. So they went out of their way to do 2 laws, the fucking weed one and this one, but yet skipped the entire Epstein fucking thing and let all them sex fucking offenders walk, bro. Is so
crazy.
You're listening, and this
crazy.
To me, this maybe not to you, but to me, this comes right back to the Zionist policies, the infiltration of America and their policies, and the people like-minded in those. The people who are Zionists and fucking those guys are sick in the head. Yeah. They're writing policy that get them off with everything and arrest the ones who actually care. It's insane.
Whether it's Zionism or something, I agree it's insane.
It's infiltration.
I agree it's insane.
We're invaded right now. People who don't want to admit that we're under attack is blind.
But Montana, we're fighting back, dude.
We are the resilience.
We are,
Let's
dude.
go, man. Let's go.
And
you are front line in it, bro.
Well, there's a lot of people doing it. I mean, like, I moved here 25 years ago.
What if Montana became a sovereign country?
No, we got to be part of the republic.
I think we have to.
Because otherwise it's too chaotic, and
right.
I would love, although,
I would never want to debranch.
It's just, that would be so difficult for
a Montana.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult for everybody. I mean, could there be a possibility in the future of sort of reworking the relationship a little bit?
Well, you wouldn't want to, dude.
Maybe. Now
here's your example.
It's crazy, right?
Ready?
Yeah,
here's your example. How well is Europe working? It's not.
Yeah.
There's your fucking
There's
aspect.
A very
There's
strong
your
argument.
aspect. If we were to ever branch out in Montana, Texas, California, because they've all talked about it.
I know.
We've all had that state moment where California says our economics are the 4th largest in the world.
Yeah, if they broke off, they'd be the 4th largest country in the world.
They're the 4th
Isn't that crazy?
in the fucking world.
Yeah.
They don't need the American economics.
And they're right on a coast. They got their own ports.
They got their own ports,
and with the fault line, they might just break off.
They can just break off like that, dude. They totally could.
California legitimately can stand on their own economics.
They can.
Montana cannot.
No.
But when you think about it, why hasn't California doing it if they hate the United States so much? Which they don't.
They don't.
They don't. This is just some fucking bullshit media thing that you always hear. The reality is because we look at Europe and say, we don't want that for here.
Yeah.
We know we're smart enough to understand that we're strong, united. United States makes us strong.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, and goes back, this is debate's been going on since the beginning of the Republic, and Alexander Hamilton's argument was like, guys, listen, if you live in a world where there are Great Britain and Europe and stuff, if you're not organized at the same level, they're going to eat your lunch.
They'll run you over.
So just put it down. And like all this stuff that's been going on, the red states and blue states, and like, oh, there's a socialist in New York. I don't give a shit.
Could we?
I don't care.
I don't independently. Care.
It's too much work, dude.
So
you got to go out and get 1 million signatures. I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous, dude. I mean, if it was easy, if you could just go as an independent, But I'm cool with being a Democrat. You know why? Because I think FDR was a real badass, and
JFK's my guy, man.
JFK, they had some good heroes, and you know what? The Democratic Party kind of lost its way. Whatever, every party loses its way. I'm not going to get too.
You're just in that moment. Your party's fucked up.
I'm not going to get too excited.
It's not just your party though. Red on the other aisle.
Everybody's got a problem.
You're a mess, bro.
Everybody's struggling. Everybody's struggling right now.
My biggest question for you, actually, for the whole day was, There's two politicians that me, as a Christian nationalist, that really adore. Now I'm eyeballing for everything they're talking about is Thomas Massey and Fishback.
Yeah.
What are your opinions as a Democrat when you think of Thomas Massey and Fishback?
So I know more about Massey than I do Fishback.
Okay.
As far as Fishback goes, I respect his energy. I respect the fact that I really like.
He attacked AIPAC hard.
He went after AIPAC hard, and he may win. I think that primary is this week or next week.
He's doing really well.
And he's been very outspoken on Israel, and so I'm with him on that. But beyond that, I don't know details of his policies and things like that.
Really similar to yours, actually.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. But as far as Thomas Massey goes, I do know more about him. And Thomas Massey, is so interesting. I respect him so much. I disagree with him probably on 90% of his policies, but I respect him completely, and I actually admire him because I know he cares and loves his country, and I know he puts his country and his people first, and I know that he's not in it for the power. He's not in it he's in it because he believes in it, and he's sincere. Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, it's tough though because I just think he has some ideas that just don't make sense on policy fronts because it's too.
So you said yeah, then
I could see him running, but I just think some of his policy ideas they just don't add up. They're not. Some of them just aren't realistic. But he's sincere about them, and on the Epstein files, we wouldn't have Epstein files if it wasn't for him.
Massey, yeah.
He was the guy that brought that up, and I'm saying I respect him, and he's been great on Israel. There's so many. I do agree with him on some really huge core issues.
Yeah.
But I think if we start to get into the weeds on healthcare or I don't know where he is on immigration or stuff. I mean, I could probably start disagreeing with him on some of that stuff. But a great guy. I would love to meet him. I think he's a great guy.
I think you guys have a lot in common.
I think he's a great guy.
So that's why I wanted to bring it up because your campaign in Montana reminds me of Thomas Massey's campaign.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, it's kind of because I think it just comes down.
It's grassroots. It's growing so hard, bro.
Anti-establishment.
Yes, it is.
Anti-establishment.
And that's where you won me. I think you won me over early on. And I haven't fully endorsed you yet publicly, but I don't really do
endorsements. It's just I don't really care. I think do whatever.
Well, I happen to have a good following of people.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
I do. I've been waiting for this second meeting for a long time to see where your adjustments were made.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to take the opportunity to say that Tyler Bates have been endorsed. Brian
thanks.
Miller.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
You've won my vote, and I've been waiting for this moment for a minute because you've answered a lot of my questions in the way that I did want answered.
Yeah.
And you may not have all the answers. And I think
no, I don't.
I think that's the most beautiful part is a man who has less of an ego to say, I don't fucking know yet, but I'm willing to fucking die.
Who knows everything?
Right.
Nobody knows shit. I mean, I appreciate that. And here's the thing. So I don't really do endorsements, but what I say is if somebody likes me and you want to go out and say, vote for him, I think that's amazing. And I think that's everyone's right. And I also want to say this too. I appreciate you is that anybody that, supports me in any way, if I get elected, hold me accountable.
That's the biggest thing.
And I'm always going to listen but I will tell you this about me, that this is one thing I will guarantee.
Glad you brought this up.
This is one thing I will guarantee you. No one will ever buy my ass. Hell, that will never happen.
I got one question.
I may make decisions. Let me finish this. I may make decisions that you disagree with, but they will always be made based on my good faith exercise of my judgment. No one will ever buy me, and I will never do anything because some party guy tells me. I will only make decisions if I think they are in the best interest. But sometimes if you're up there, do you have to make a tough call? Is there going to be a time when there's a bill that you really hate this part, but there's this part you like, and it's all or nothing? There's going to be tough decisions to be made.
Really hard
there's going to be times when you're going to have to take. I mean, I will tell you this, though. I'm never voting for a goddamn dime for Israel.
Thank God.
Never. That's one thing I will never. And I don't care if it's a budget. Yeah. If it's a budget that needed my vote, I'd say, well, strip the Israel money out. Nope. So I'm not doing that. That I won't do.
I'm just going to say when you do get in position and placed into power, whether it's this election, the next, or whatever you're doing ambitiously, I do believe you're going to reach where you're going. I think your goals will be met. I just don't.
We're already there. This is it. We're just doing it now.
I believe that. And let's just say you get the result that you want. Where is the crossing line that a person who has endorsed you should look for in change, and that we should worry. And if you know yourself well enough,
Yeah.
Where's a spot that'd be like, hey man, we should check in because
If you ever think I'm getting if I ever can't explain to you rationally why I'm making a decision, and it looks like I'm being influenced, then you should be like, hey, dude. But that's not going to happen to me, dude. I'm too old. I'm driving. I'm 54, dude. Like, this is how I've been like this my whole goddamn life, dude. I'm anti-establishment, anti-authoritarian. It's not going to change, dude. This is me.
Authentic, and I appreciate
it's just me.
that.
That's just me.
So when you do get there, and let's just say me and you happen to get to media position, right?
Sure.
I am full-heartedly the type that pushes for audits and transparency, 100% of it. I would be the person to ask for an audit or a transparent notice. Would you supply?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the moment, like
complete audit. Yeah, I mean, whatever you can do logistically. Like,
right.
I don't know
within the law.
Yeah, no, I think we need full transparency. Like, if I get in there, I want to do full-on budget items on the military, all this stuff.
Thank God.
The military is where we really there's a lot of waste and corruption in the military, and we're not spending enough money on our vets. I want to see us spend money on our vets.
Do you know how many politicians would sweat me asking them if I audit them that they'd stand
on business? Totally.
They can lie and say I don't care, but dude, I will watch your body language and I will read it and I'll watch this video.
I don't care.
No. You already passed.
Yeah, I don't care.
You already passed.
And you know what? If something comes off odd on the audit, you bring it to our attention and we work through it.
That is incredible.
But there will never be, I can tell you this about me, there's never going to be an intentional desire to conceal anything or I just don't do that, dude. I'm not saying it makes me better than anybody. It's just not how I operate, dude. I just do not operate like that. And I know sometimes it's hard to be honest. And if you screw something up, I just believe you just try to own it and try not to defend it if it's wrong. But, we're all human, and nobody should expect to have like a perfect person representing them. Sure. But everybody should expect accountability and transparency.
Now let's get back to the same question I asked you a couple months ago. What are your top 3 points of reference that you want to campaign on from here?
It's just data centers right now. The top 3. I got asked that last night. I got asked the same question last night over at the Big Sky Buds podcast in Whitefish. Data centers. And it's because
it covers everything.
Well, and it covers everything. And in this day and age and in this environment and in politics, you have to be relentlessly repeating the same thing over and over and over again. You have to do it. One time is not enough. And the data center issue also, we're at this. A lot of people don't know this though. We're at a critical juncture in our Montana history. I just posted this statement today. If we start building data centers in Montana, we're not going to be the last best place. We're not going to be the last best place. You can say whatever. You can say, oh, it's going to get some jobs.
It's over.
But we're not the last best place because once they get one in, they've got the CEO of Northwestern already said they've got there's 10 or something that they've got ideas for. It's 10. You imagine 10 data centers in Montana?
We're fighting them off, man.
What if we had 10? Just imagine if we had 10, just this. The base load for Northwest Energy for all electric customers is 760 megawatts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Imagine if we just had, and the data center proposed in Broadview is between 1.1 gigawatts and maybe up to 7 gigawatts.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. It would be the size of 3,800 football fields if they got it to their size. Okay.
The Great Falls one was bigger.
No, this would be bigger.
This is huge.
This is would be a monster.
Yeah.
This would be one of the biggest in the world if it's built.
It's supposed to. Yeah, they're talking. That Mr. Wonderful guy. It's like
it would be bigger, as big as that, bigger than that. So just imagine though. Just say that you had just imagine if they built 3 or 4 1 gigawatt data centers in Montana.
Give it towards us.
And that would be
our electric grid's old and outdated.
We would get destroyed, and that would be more than 6 times the amount of electricity that all of us consume. Or imagine if they just built 10 500 megawatt. I mean, you see, it's all of this is just killing us. And
so you're absolutely no data center.
No, this is not going to work.
Because I had it in my questions.
It's not going to work.
It was in this questionnaire that I was going to say, if there was a proposal, what would be your steps? And you don't have any.
Only if here's what I say is right now there's a data center experiment going on in America We already have 10 times more data centers than China. We have over 5,000 data centers. China has like less than 400.
If you had a message to your voters then concerning all of this, as far as even Palantir or Flock, we don't
want that shit. No.
If you have a single message to your voters, what would it be concerning all of this?
Go do the experiment somewhere else, and if you ever get it right, show us your results, and we'll think about it. But we are controlling the sovereignty of our borders on this. Period. And that goes to Flock, surveillance,
sovereignty.
And we will decide. And right now there's an experiment going on. And if they ever get it right and they ever have an actual sustainable way or an actual this or that, and they want to present it to us in a transparent fashion. But what I tell people is this: we have to demonstrate the authority and power to close our borders to these people, these data center people, because that's where our power is. It's like if we get a chance to vote in Yellowstone County on the initiative, okay, and they say we don't want these things in our county, that's us demonstrating control.
So one of the biggest, scary implications that's going on with all of this data center shit is the willingness to break the fucking law.
Constantly break the law.
If
the
fucking no, the answer is no, and the result is fire.
Yeah.
And the result after fire is billionaire buyout.
Yeah.
What are we doing to prevent that as a state? Can we fucking?
Nothing.
Is there a law that we could say, well, no, we're not selling land that's been damaged by fires? Or is there something protecting the fucking land?
No, that's Yellowstone County. We're trying to do, and they did it in Silverbow as well. Those are the first. Well, Missoula County actually has.
There's no legislation in place.
No, well, Missoula County actually has a pretty robust system, because what happened in Missoula County was in 2018 they had a cryptocurrency thing.
Okay.
And so they had. I
didn't know anything about this.
No,
Cool. I'd love to research.
No, so they had a cryptocurrency thing in 2018, and they did in Bonner, and they didn't like it. It was noisy and causing problems. So and this was before the big data center
mining.
I bet. Yeah, crypto mining. But this was before the big what we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that too in just a second, but basically, so what they did was they put a bunch of regulations and zoning in, and so they have a protection in Missoula County.
Yeah.
But a lot of counties, especially rural counties, they don't like countywide zoning, so they don't have anything, so the data centers can come right on in.
Right.
They want.
Now that's the danger, right? With all these smaller counties, let's say Conrad, Choteau, or anything like that.
It's Teton County.
That knows that they don't have no fucking economy, and they are getting.
Well, they have economies, but they're ag based.
Yes, it's very slow.
And I know that's what they do is they appeal to those places. They tell them all these things. You're going to get all this tax money. You're going to get all this crap, and that's what they do.
I think that was kind of my message. I think that I was trying to draw out of you is what could your biggest warning be to these communities as far as the lure?
I've told them that. They know it. And some places get it, and some don't. But it's the grift. I mean, they tell them all this stuff, but go study actual cases. It's not. Yeah. I mean, I did find one place in Utah, one community in Utah I think it's called Eagle. Let me look at my phone real quick. I think it's called, because I did a post on this. I think it's called Eagle Mount, Utah, I think. And I don't know if that's it. There was one place in Utah that I found a story on, and they said they liked their data center. Okay. But then I looked into it a little bit more, and I found out that this town, I think it's called Eagle Mount, Utah. I think that was it. Eagle Mount, Utah it's a metadata center, and they have a confidentiality agreement with Meta that says they can't
say
publicly, and it says they can't. No, this is what it says. It says they can't publicly disclose the amount of water that Meta's using, and they have to alert Meta if anybody ever tries to get the data. So I'm like, okay, what's that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that if everything was above board? That's the problem. That's the problem. So here we go. This is the problem. Is it's secrecy. It affects us.
Yes.
And then let me give you another plot twist here, which this is something that I'm talking about now. And it's very, very should concern anybody in this state. Is that in Mississippi, Elon Musk built a huge data center. Okay. And he broke all the rules, like, screw you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or whatever. And he built it in a minority community of people that didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of power. Okay. So he builds this thing, and there it is. And then now we're at the point where different groups have sued because it's completely screwed.
Yeah.
So now the Trump administration just came in recently and said, you know what, you can't do anything about this because AI is national security.
Actually, it's benefited me in a couple ways because of my company is an AI company.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's weird because I own an AI that doesn't take a data center or an LLM, so
Right.
I'm battling against the people.
Right.
There's an irony involved.
But my point is this: is that
no, I totally
now
get it.
you can't, if you let them in your state, now you can't do anything about them. Period. That's very dangerous.
Also,
that's very dangerous.
And it gives you so even me, if I wanted to, I could get a ton of money off grants right now. I've avoided it because I want to do it the way I want to do it.
Sure.
And but even I have gotten to the lower where I could get a stupid amount of money off grants.
Yeah.
And and that would take money from my taxpayers. I'm a nationalist. First of all, I'm against that aspect and that kind of idealism.
Right.
I don't want to take a grant from the government,
even
though I could. And it does give the aspect like I was saying for Elon, this side of things. I could do exactly what we're doing in this community that Elon did, and attempt to get the grants to build my own shit here. But I don't, because the reality is there's no benefit here.
Right.
And what happened over there, it's going to happen everywhere. Like you said, if we do one, we will face that exact same terminology. Is that there's nothing you can do about it because it's national security.
I don't think you don't want to let those in. You don't want to let those in.
So I wrote that report and I put it out strategically today because you were coming.
Yeah.
And in that report, it deals with the base. It deals with the AI on base. And as I wrote this report, I knew enough to stop where I could because there's a line of national security involved. And this is where even when I know I'm being right becomes where's the safety risk for even myself to speak the truth.
Yeah. Do
you know what I'm saying? So we're hitting a wall where you can't even speak no further than what you want to. Like I know more than I can't even talk about in that report, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a sad aspect that you brought up, that when we go to fight against these fucking things, if we allow it to get it, there's no fight left. That's what you mean by we can't let it happen at all.
No, it's risky.
The risk is done, bro. You're right.
So the only thing you can really do is keep them out because it's a liberty issue and all the rest, you know. So
I think that is the absolute hardest nail you can drive on this coffin, is that if you allow one, it's done.
It's a liberty issue.
It's done.
It's a liberty issue. And that's what I've been saying to people is like, don't let them in because of once you get them in, they're like an invasive species. You're not getting them out.
And you're
not getting them out. And then you're the experiment.
What should secure a lot of people's vote for you is that you are the politician saying, fuck you, dude.
I'm not a politician, though.
Yeah.
I'm just a dude who's running for this office. I'm not.
You are the man trying to take seat to make legislation to prevent these things. That should fucking encourage a lot of people's vote.
Yeah, it's just money and getting things out is just a challenge. But
tough.
I'm doing what I can.
Hopefully Rico can help you. I would love to see that happen.
Gun rights, big among voters. Yeah, I mean, Second Amendment.
Yeah, so as a Democrat, trying to get into the Montana office, people are worried about
gun
rights.
Nothing's happened. I mean, everyone's rights are. I mean, did Obama do anything? Even I don't even think. I haven't seen it as an issue. I mean, I do. To me, it's a Second Amendment, and it's a states' rights issue.
You would never touch it?
No, of course not.
Awesome.
And I mean, I know this has got blown. I know this.
I think you're pretty much a real tied closely to a constitutionalist.
I am an old school constitutionalist. I believe in respecting people's
Everything
liberty,
that I've ever heard,
respecting people's
really
differences of opinions, and everybody speaks for themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, you ride the Constitution pretty hard, and I fuck with that heavy.
But everybody, it's like, and I know sometimes people think like, there's different. I mean, Alexander Hamilton was a pretty open-minded guy.
Yeah.
In fact, he called what they were doing in the Federalist Papers the science of federal government. And I'm a big science guy, man, and so I come down to rationality, science, common sense. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, and evidence. And I'm willing to look at evidence. I'm willing to look at those things.
Very like-minded in all those things.
Yeah, and what I don't like us doing is doing all the crazy emotionalistic attacks. I think it's fair to attack people on principles. I think it's fair to, I've attacked some people because I feel like they've done some things that I don't think are right. And Tester, Seth Bodner, other people that I haven't liked.
Can we get into Bodner at all? Because we
I got to go in about I got 10 minutes or 15.
So let's just cruise over the whole beef and what's going on with you and Bodner's situation.
There's not really a beef. It's just that he doesn't. It's just that I have not liked what I've seen. Mm-hmm. He's, in my opinion, the first thing he did that really irked me was when he got on and said that there was a lawsuit against him in the university when he was the president, and there were various troubling allegations. The allegations towards him were like some weird interoffice sexist stuff, which was not good, but it wasn't there was nothing horrendous, but it was stuff that
compared to the Epstein stuff.
It was not no, it's none of that stuff. And then there was so it wasn't anything like that, but it was stuff that was still just it was causing women pain unnecessarily for no good reason other than just flaunt your power as a guy. I hate that shit, man. I got a daughter, man. I don't want my daughter to grow up in a world where she has some boss who just wants to be a dick for I don't want that, man. I don't want that. My daughter live in that world, and so I didn't like that. And then there were some serious allegations in the lawsuit about things that he didn't do anything directly, but when they're brought up to the university just did the wrong thing. And then you could say, well, he didn't, he wasn't a part of those. But then once the lawsuit was brought to his attention, now you've got the ball. You're the president. Yeah. So someone has put a federal
lawsuit. There's an accountability somewhere.
So now and if you didn't have anything to do with it, that's fine. But now you know about it. You're in charge. What are you going to do about it? And what he says is there's no merit to it. And that I got a problem with. There is merit. I have been in conversations. I haven't talked to him in a while, but for a while I talked to one of the ladies from the lawsuit. Okay. And I got information from her. I talked to the attorney who did the lawsuit. She's a very well-respected attorney in Bozeman, Montana. And she's actually the president of the Montana Trial.
Good on you for reaching out, though, like that.
I did my diligence. I didn't just jump on. That's what people need to understand is because people give me, well, don't say anything about Seth Godin or I'm like, dude, I researched this like with Windy Boy. Yeah. I took my time with Windy Boy. I reviewed evidence. I reviewed documents. I did my due diligence. And I have all these people all the time that haven't done their due diligence and they think they could tell me this, they could tell me that. And I'm just like, well, you haven't done your homework. In fact, I had somebody the other day reach out to me and say, oh, you shouldn't say anything about Seth Bodner. It's alienating Democrats. And I said, buddy, you haven't done your homework. I've done my homework. Yeah. I'm taking a stand on this issue. It's bullshit. So that I got a problem with that. And then the other thing I got a big problem with right now is that he said that he could win a 4-race Senate race. Mm. And then they started launching this vicious campaign against Alani Bankhead.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
It's bullshit, dude. Yeah. Pressure tactics. It was a psyop, dude. It was a freaking full-on psyop.
It was.
And I was down in Townsend a week and a half ago when they did this. They staged an ambush. And so Alani and I were both asked to do an event for the Broadwater County Democrats. Yeah. And I had my thing set up, my data center thing. And then I said, Alani, you go first. And Alani went first and did her thing and did a speech and stuff and talk. And then Bodner had all these people planted in the audience. Oh, shit. And they got the press to show up. And it was kind of ridiculous because the press contacted me because they knew I was going to be there too. Yeah. But they didn't even mention I was there. Oh, they didn't interview. They didn't even talk. It was like I didn't even exist. They were all there to hear this little thing. And then so all these people get up and they're asking her all these states. They had their phones. It was all written. I could see they had their phones. This was all planned. It was a coordinated attack. Bankhead really held her own ground. And then you had that. And then you had something else where they somehow were targeting her. Like in Helena, for instance, there were signs all over Helena that people put all over town saying, Alani, do the right thing. Don't be a this. It was psyop, dude.
It was 100% a psyop.
It was a freaking psyop. Yeah. And Seth Bodner is a Green Beret, and they get taught psyops.
Oh, yeah, man.
And the other thing, too, dude, is this. Is that the stuff that was being done to Bankhead was very similar to the stuff they said he did at the university. So come on, man. You can't see the common pattern here? So and the thing is too, is when Seth Bodner got on and said, I can run a 4-way race, then I'm like, Well, why the hell are you attacking this late? Go run your own race, dude.
You know what I love about
Go
this?
run your own race.
Is that you're the only candidate that has openly called for a debate.
I know.
What happened to politicians willing to debate?
I don't know, dude.
Right.
And no one's responding. Of course, Downing isn't. Mike Eisenhower, I don't know what he's going to do.
If we get you a venue, which I have in my hands, would you be willing
do
to
it at town hall, whatever? Yeah,
I'll invite, and if they say yes, then
they won't say yes.
But I would love to host it.
Eisenhower lives here in Great Falls, so I mean, he should say yes.
Host it. Yeah.
Do it. I'll set it up. I mean, make sure we get.
I got a weekly bus style of question for you.
Yeah.
If you had to fucking bare knuckle fight one, who is it?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I don't know anything about bare knuckle fighting.
No, if you had to bare knuckle fight someone, one of these guys,
one of the politicians around the way.
I wouldn't do that. If they wanted to fight me, I'd fight. I don't want to fight them. I'll fight them with this.
Very Jesus like of the
No, I'm just saying, but like, I'm sure I'd get my ass kicked. I'm sure I'd have to train, dude. But look, man, I would do a town hall anytime, and maybe if you just got, even if they're not going to. I mean, Eisenhower should show up.
I fucking love it. I love that you're the only politician, or the only candidate running.
Bring anybody, dude. I'll take any question. I'm not afraid of any person. Bring whatever. Anybody come up. You want to ambush me? You want to do whatever? I don't give anything. Come on, do it. I don't care.
Brian Miller,
I'll be happy to do it.
You have led a fantastic, another great episode with us.
Yeah, this was fun, dude.
This was a really good one, man, and I can't wait to watch it back and just dissect it, because I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of information. They got to see a version of you that I think people want to see in a suit.
Yeah.
And me in particular, I like to fancy myself as a good character read and a person who knows good politics. I feel like you're carrying both. And I think this interview gave the viewers a really good chance to see who that heart is underneath the skin.
Right.
And you are going to do great things if you make it where you're going.
Especially because you're putting the boots on the ground. And
yes, he's the real deal.
Well, we're doing what we can.
Up.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, look, I mean, I'm just doing my little piece. There's lots of people. You guys are doing things. There's a lot of people doing things, and we just got to encourage each other to do things. Let's get up there. We could have a great future together, but it's time for us to really find things we can work on. Let's start working on them, man.
Well, I'm not red and blue, but you got the gray party over here,
brother.
man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Seriously.
Yeah, man. It's good. Appreciate it.
Brian Miller, thank you guys for
thanks.
tuning in. Thank you guys for your guys' questions.
Website, Miller4congress.com.
I don't like shaking
Do you have any endorsements or anything?
I don't do endorsements.
Okay,
I don't do anything.
Do you have any shout-outs?
I don't do any.
Do you have any meetings?
I'm doing some stuff, and I am gonna be doing something in Great Falls in the not too distant future.
Okay.
And it's gonna be around data centers.
Okay.
Oh, Jason's still here. Hell yeah.
It's gonna be so we're gonna be doing a data center event where I do my presentation, and I'll let you know on that. And that's something you could bring. You could stream it or something or whatever if you want to set
up. The bus will do that. We'd love to do that.
That'd be great. And so that I'll let
grab the laptop and come on down.
Yeah, I'll let you know when that's happening. Other than that, I mean, we're doing something in Miles City in a week and a half, and I'll be I'm starting to plan up my schedule for the next.
You got any yard signs and shit?
Not yet, just because I don't have a ton of money.
Waiting.
Well, I don't have a ton of monny, so I've had to be careful. I am going to get a billboard or two.
Are you taking donations?
Yeah, you can donate at Miller4congress.com.
Okay.
I have like $5,000 in the bank account right now. I don't go around asking people for money.
Well,
I don't do that shit. I think if you see what I'm doing and you want to throw me some cash, throw me some cash. If not, that's fine. I'm just going to do my thing.
As far as billboards go,
yeah,
don't go just straight like Lamar. You got to hit our boy up at Billboard Nerds, because you give him a budget, he'll show you what you can do.
Yeah, well then, is he in Montana?
He's out of Vegas, but
our billboard came from him, and he's out of Vegas.
Okay, yeah, then he should you can get me in touch, because actually we were just talking. I'm in the process of designing one right now, and we're getting the electronic file put together.
Fantastic.
And then we need to. I'm just doing that right now. Yeah, sweet. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Yes, Brian Miller.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to pay some bills, and we're going to get out of here, guys.
Pay some bills, my man.
We are going to pay some bills. You know what I mean?
Protect your business with the experts at ASI. We specialize in fire alarm system design and installation, customized for your space. Our certified team handles inspection, testing, and maintenance, so you're always up to code. Need fully serviced fire extinguishers? We've got those too. And when seconds count, our panic alarm systems deliver fast, silent protection. Alert Services Incorporated, Reliable, responsive, and always ready. Call for a quote today.
Halftime Sports Bar, the best sports bar in town. Catch all of the action on our big screens, enjoy your favorite drinks, and savory mouthwatering tacos provided by Taco Treat. Feeling lucky? Head over to our casino with hot machines at Emerald City Casino, where the thrill never stops. And for a more laid-back vibe, check out Amigo Lounge, our sister establishment, offering a perfect blend of relaxation and fun, and food. Halftime Sports Bar, where sports, gaming, and great times come together. Your go-to destination for excitement in every quarter. Join us today and make every moment a winning one.
Okay, good.
Friendly staff, clean, Vegas style. Saturdays and Sundays, $6 shrimp cocktails for active gamblers, where winning happens. Full bar and gambler menu available until 12 a.m. It's always a good time. Best looking casino in town with a heated smoking room. Montana Sports Bet available. Mimosas and Bloody Marys served daily. Come play today.
I don't want to make.
And the weekly bus. Weekly bus, you busters. Rapid Rivers 2025.